Friday, November the 4th, 2022 on this Gregorian calendar. Let me show you something, my people. This is how I know that the constellations are constantly shifting. Let me zoom in a little bit. You see that star right above the moon, whether it's a planet, a star, whichever one, right above the moon. But then you have a hitting object. You see the object at the very top right there? See that circular object? If you can't see it, I'm not here to make you see anything. There is a solid object. You see me moving the camera up and down. The lens flare is reflecting the moon. But here you go. You have a solid object that's fairly visible right above the star to the right. And then you have this star or planet, whichever one it is, right above the moon. And then you have this moon right here that's giving off a blue color. I don't need a $5,000 or $10,000 telescope. I point my heart chakra to the sky. I told you, I already see what's taking place. And then looking at these clouds right here, are these clouds behind the moon? Are they moving behind the moon, these clouds right here? It sure appears that way. It surely appears that way. It looks like these clouds right here are moving behind the moon. And it is. It don't appear that way. It is that way. Behind the moon and that star or planet, whichever one you want to call it, the clouds are behind it. Wow. We have definitely went through a shift. A major shift. This is how you know that that moon and that light that we call the sun is in the dome. Those clouds move right behind the moon. Literally went behind the moon and that star right there that somebody will call a planet or whatever the case may be. It's fine. I don't mind. Whatever you want it to be. But those clouds literally just move behind that star and that moon. Clearly. Clearly. Wow. What an amazing time to be alive. Hold on, I want to pick up that object that's above the star or planet, whichever one you want to call it. Let me see something. Those clouds are moving behind the moon. We clearly have shifted dimensions. Clearly have shifted dimensions. Those clouds are moving behind that moon and that star or planet that somebody will call a planet or a star. I'm just gonna say it's a bright object right above the moon. And then there's another object that's above the bright object above the moon to the right. So let me see. I gotta wait for these clouds to move out the way. I don't even think they clouds. But they are clearly behind the moon. Clearly, they are behind the moon. Clearly, these clouds are moving behind the moon and that star right there. Operation Skyfall. Operation Moonfall. All right, here we go. See the object right there? Let me see. Right there. The object is right there. It's kind of faded. Wait till these clouds move the way. What an amazing time to be alive. I told y'all, man, I just want to be the great reminder. I just want to be known as one of the great reminders. I am not a teacher. I am none of that shit. I want to be known as one of the great reminders. The person that didn't need a $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 telescope. The person that didn't need to read a whole bunch of historian books, but just stuck to anatomy. That's it. Because the prokaryotic cell is the past, present, and future. Understand that. The prokaryotic cell is the past, present, and future. There's the object. See the object right there? You have the moon, or the light they call the moon. You have that star or a planet, whichever one, and then you have the object right above it. That's kind of faded to the right of it. And these clouds move behind this moon. They went behind the moon and this star. That's supposed to be out in space, by the way. Supposed to be out in space. You've seen that with your own eyes. There is no camera tricks here. This is a cell phone that I'm using. I'm not even going to strip the light. I'm going to load this directly up. There's no need to, because look, I'm going to move my phone side to side, up and down. You see the lens flare from the bright moon, but you see the stationary object above the star or planet that they call. You see that stationary object right here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Right there. That's an object right there. That is an object. And this is an object, whether it be a star, planet, whatever the case may be. And this is an object. And those clouds move behind that object. Man, this is an amazing time to be alive. We have definitely shifted positions, my people. We have definitely shifted. Be prepared for anything. Have no fear, but be prepared for anything. Don't allow these people to come on social media with these fake accounts or 3 or 4 posts and tell you, oh, I didn't hear this or I don't know this. Listen, people, everyone that study politics, everyone that study politics and have some sort of common sense and logic is telling you that this is systematically being shut down. Donald Trump told you before he left office, if you elect Biden, you will be speaking Chinese. And look at what's happening. The Chinese and Russia have started their own federal world reserve bank, which means it's going to collapse the dollar. You have no idea, my people. The dollar means absolutely nothing. It never meant anything in the first place. You understand? These false philosophies and ideologies that we have accepted doesn't mean anything in the first place. But I'm just giving you an example of how America is systematically destroying itself. Because listen to me, the whole world, China is becoming unlivable. North Korea has already been unlivable. Russia, Europe, all of it is becoming unlivable. Indonesia, India, all of them, it is becoming unlivable. So what you do with the people? The people are already aware that children are going missing. Black people are more aware that we have been experimenting on. Our organs are 10 times greater than any other species organs on this planet. We already know that. So now we're like, yo, there is somebody or something on the planet that has been doing this for quite some time. So what's going to happen is, before this person is revealed to you, they have to make the world look like hell to you. You have to be in a complete desperation mode, where though there's scarcity of food, water, safety. That's the number one thing. Water, food, and safety is how many people are going to run for their help. How many people are going to accept this lizard and this, how many, whoa. You see that? You see that? Wow. How many people are going to run for their help? How many people are going to need them? Huh? That's the key. That is the whole key. How many people are going to need them? You see that object again at the top. It's not going anywhere. It is rotating with the moon and that star or planet that you call, whatever it is. But that's the whole case. People are going to forget about the atrocities that have been taking place with us for so long on this planet. And a certain group of people that was used to commit these atrocities are going to fold easily and accept whatever comes out of that sky or underneath that ground. And I don't mean the sky like that, because they don't live there. Underneath that ground, well, whatever's been hitting on this planet for quite some time, living in the shadows and manipulating us. Basically, call it what you want. I value my people. Protect yourself at all times with knowledge, sunlight, chlorophyll, distilled water, and 3D human free. Kalama Amin Ra, God gene for life, sun blood, sun blood, sun blood. I am not black. Yizzo.